What's up guys, in this video we'll be going over the Bunker E15 Legendary Lost Sector. This is of course the Lost Sector located on Europa, and in Season of the Lost it's at 1320 power level. This Legendary Lost Sector can be used to farm for exotics if you're completing this solo, and to get the highest chance for these to drop, you want to make sure you're getting platinum rewards from defeating all of the champions in that run. We'll go over everything I used in this run to make it pretty easy to complete, and we'll also go over any tips or tricks to help you along the way, in case you're struggling with this Lost Sector. If you guys enjoy this guide or you find it helpful, do me a favor, let me know in the comment section down below, and let me know what exotic you're farming for this Lost Sector today. Let's get into it. Alright, now first things first, you want to make sure that you have Bunker E15 Lost Sector available whenever it comes around for the Legendary Lost Sector. So to do that, you need to make sure that you're at least 1270 power, which is going to be 50 power level underneath the recommended. You also need to make sure that you've completed Bunker E15 at least once on normal, that way the name will show up on the director. If you've done both of these things, then when this daily Lost Sector becomes the legendary one, you should have no problem accessing it. Now keep in mind that the Legend Lost Sectors do rotate every day, and there's 11 of them in total. These Lost Sectors can be used to farm for exotics, meaning you can complete these multiple times and get multiple exotics in the same day. You can use this method to farm for any of the new exotics such as Radiant Dance Machines, Nothing Manacles, or No Backup Plans, or if you're just trying to get a better stat roll on another exotic you might already have. Either way, these Legendary Lost Sectors are definitely worth farming for. When you're doing this, you want to make sure you're completing the Legend Lost Sector and not the Master one. The Master one is going to be at 1350 power level, so it's going to be significantly higher, and personally they take a lot longer to complete and a lot more strategy. The Legend ones are a lot simpler and you can complete them quicker, meaning you have a chance for more exotics to drop. Even though the Master difficulty does have a higher drop chance, completing these effectively is basically going to be your goal. Now real quickly, let's go over what you can expect in the Bunker E15 Legendary Lost Sector. As far as modifiers go, we do have Void Burn, so anything that shoots Void is going to be dealing significantly more damage. As far as shields go, there's only Void Shields in this Lost Sector, so that really frees up your loadout quite a bit. Champions, we do have Anti-Barrier as well as Overload, and we'll quickly go over the weapons we'll be using in this run and give you any other recommendations I can give. Now personally, the weapons I chose to use in this run, I had a kinetic auto rifle to deal with Anti-Barrier. I was using the 7 Seraph Carbine. In my secondary slot, I was using Lemonade Exotic Bow. This is so I can break the Void Shields as well as stun Overload champions. And for my DPS option, in my heavy slot, I chose to use Ascendancy, just because Explosive Light is really good and recently got a buff, so rockets are going to be extremely helpful in this Lost Sector, especially up against the Wyverns. Now if you wanted to, you could actually swap the bow and the auto rifle slots, so if you wanted to run an energy auto rifle and a kinetic bow, that would work perfectly fine as well. You just want to make sure that you have something void to take care of some of those shields. Now really quickly going over some of the mods I used in this run, most of these are just going to be helping you get your abilities back quicker or help you survive longer. I was using Melee Wellmaker. Whenever you get a melee combat kill, it's going to drop an elemental well. When you pick that up, it's going to help recharge your other abilities. This is going to work really well with my Stasis class. I also do have Rocket Launcher Ammo Finder, so that way I can find more ammo for my Ascendancy to do more DPS. And any slots that I have left, I dump into either Resilience or Recovery mods. Next up, moving to my arms. In this run I was using Taking Charge, so when I pick up an orb I become charged with light, and we'll go over the mods that I was using with that in just a moment. You can see also on my arms I have the Anti-Barrier Auto Rifle, as well as the Overload Bow. Both of these can be picked up off of the artifact. And again, any other slots that I have, I'm dumping into either Resilience or Recovery to help me survive just a little bit longer. Next up on my chest piece, I was running Reactive Pulse. While I'm charged with light, when I take damage, a arc energy is going to emit from me, basically protecting me from anything trying to swarm me. This is going to help me survive a little bit longer. And you also gain a powerful overshield whenever you do a finisher. We also have Rocket Launcher Reserves, so that way I have more rockets for more DPS. And we need that arc resistance. Personally, you could probably run Void Resist as well here. That's going to be good as well, but I needed that arc for that Reactive Pulse. Now for my boots, I was using Star Eater Scales. Just personal preference here. As I gain orbs of power, I'll be able to do more damage from my super. So when I cast my stasis, I was using high energy fire, so whenever I'm charged with light, I do get a damage buff to my weapons. Also, recuperation is a great mod as well. When you pick up an orb, you're going to start health regeneration. And of course, rocket launcher scavenger, so that way when I do find ammo, I'll be able to get more rockets in reserves. Next up for the cloak, I was using protective light, so while I'm charged with light, you get significant damage resist against combatants. This is going to be really good whenever you get critical health. I was also using thermoclastic strike, so whenever I get a melee, it's going to help stun overload as well. And distribution, when I dodge, it's going to recharge my other abilities. And again, any other slots will go into resilience or recovery. Now, if you don't have any of these mods or these weapons, that's okay. This is just giving you a starting point on what you can go off of to come up with your build. I will be doing another guide for Bunker E15 later this season, which will be called the Bare Bones Guide, in which I'll be making sure to complete this with under-leveled gear, no exotics, no raid or trials weapons, and the only mods I'll be using is champion mods. This is to help some of those people that might be struggling, whether you're just new, starting out, you don't have the best gear, the best weapons, or maybe you're really under-leveled and you're struggling with this. Overall, my goal is just to help as many people as I can with this Lost Sector to complete it so you guys can farm for exotics. So if you have any questions, be sure to let me know in the comments section. I will respond. But without further delay, let's go ahead and get into the Lost Sector run itself. Now, one thing that's pretty unique to this Lost Sector compared to any other Lost Sector in the game is that you'll actually get the frames to help you defeat the enemies. So as you're progressing through here, you want to make sure you're shooting the Vex cages to open them up, because they actually will help you defeat a bunch of the enemies. Now in the first room, we do have an Overload Champion right here. Remember that the Overload Champions do like to teleport quite a bit, so you just want to stun him with your bow and then swap to your rocket to take him out. Again, using that class item mod, is my shurikens are going to be able to stun Overload as well. So in case I need to just stun him and freeze him or slow him, that's going to help as well. Once you clear out the first room, you'll see your first cage here. So just kill the goblins on the bottom. And again, you got to make sure to shoot this cage, and there's going to be more frames added to the fight. Now these next couple rooms are pretty self-explanatory. Just defeat the goblins. There will be a minotaur with a shield you want to watch out for. This is going to be your first void shield you got to take out. But as you proceed forward, again, just make sure if you see any of these cages with the frames in them, you want to make sure to shoot them to open them up. Now once you get into this room, this is going to be one of the bigger rooms that you fight in. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Once you take out the first set of goblins, watch out for the snipers up top, because they'll try to pick you off. And across the room, again, there's another cage that'll unlock more of the frames to help you in the fight. Now you can always use this side of the room that you've already cleared as cover, as more enemies will spawn on the left side of the room. So once we go ahead and proceed through, you'll see there's a cage straight in front of us at the top of the ramp, and then another one on the left side in the corner. So again, you want to make sure to free those frames, as they're going to help mow down these enemies. Watch out for the snipers up top, and once you clear this first group of enemies, there'll be more that spawn. There will be a minotaur with a void shield right here, as well as the anti-barrier champion will spawn. There's also a cyclops at the top of the ramp that you probably saw. So you want to make sure to watch out for him as you're clearing these out. Now with the anti-barrier champions, these ones are a little bit tricky if you're not used to champions. Basically, you want to weaken him just a little, enough to make him pop his shield. Once he pops his shield, that's when you'll swap to your auto rifle, that way you can break it. Once you stun him from breaking his shield, that's when you'll swap to the rocket and actually finish him off. Finishers do really well in case you don't have enough damage to actually mow him down, and it's a quick and easy way to finish a champion. Now, next up into the final room, this is going to be a little chaotic, but we'll try to break it down as quickly as possible. The main boss will spawn in the middle of the room, but he also will teleport in phases as you deplete his health. It's also going to spawn in wyverns throughout this encounter, as well as some more champions. The first wyvern will spawn over here on the right. This is where rockets do really well against wyverns, as you can pretty much one-shot them as long as you hit your rocket. This is where I prefer to rocket over like a sword or a linear fusion, because you can destroy it from safety. In this room, you really want to make sure to stay towards the entrance of the room, as that way you can back up into it, into the hallway before, for cover. And once you clear all the initial enemies, the boss will spawn in the middle. So again, just run back to the beginning of the room, and this is going to be your safe spot. Clear out as many of the ads as you can from safety, and just peek shot the boss. If you start getting hit pretty hard, you can always just back up. Now, you got to be careful. Once the champions do spawn in, they will chase you around this corner. So you just got to make sure you have your bow or your overload weapons ready to stun them. Once you clear out the champions, it's going to spawn more wyverns as you damage the boss. And once you do that a few times, you'll be able to mow down the boss, no problem. That's going to be everything I have on this Lost Sector. So if this guide did help you out, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. And if you want to check out more guides just like this one, remember to click subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss an upload. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.